Hello and welcome to the weekly roundup from the Shorthand World Cup. I'm Carl Robertson. This week, Team SMD had 8 participants in the quarter-finals, but only 7 of them played out because Charlie said, "Fuck it, I'm going to Fabric." Today we're doing something a little bit different because I'm here with Dan.
Hi Carl, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Thanks so much for making the long trip up.
You know, it was alright, traffic was fine, so
Yeah.
there was no trouble today.
Brilliant stuff, great to have you here. First things first, before we discuss anything, we had Carl there live on Thursday and he had this report.
It was a cool Thursday evening after a long day for Team SMD, where they sat waiting patiently for the full-timers to emerge from downstairs. When they finally did, all but Teddy and Lostin chose to go at 100 words per minute, and after Lostin's slight confusion over the title, they were off. The rest coolly waited as the crowd went wild for this intense affair. Some full-timers used it as warm-up, but not Jack and George. First, Jack had a questionable look over to Iona's practice run, and George just had a look of utter disgust. A look that said, "Yeah, I've got this." When the reading was over, Teddy had a look of slight confusion as Lostin kept his head down, showing the signs of a poor shorthand week. As they transcribed, Holly began the passage for the proper participants.
Thank you all for coming to this meeting tonight.
George looked composed as ever during the opening stages, and I'm sure wearing a matching shirt to Iona was not part of any mind game strategy.
Plans put forward by the
In the intercourse tie, both shared a similar technique, and Jack showed no signs of distraction. Behind them was the Bulge versus Jay, with the Bulge showing an interesting upright style. It was almost as if he doesn't need to be close to his outlines to dominate shorthand. Huge balls on that man. Harry 50 Shades of Grey, on the other hand, looked to have got down and dirty in his passage, showing such a domineering style that Josh almost looked reluctant to be close to him. I was keeping a close eye on Bamwell during this tie, as Aaron looked to continue his miraculous run in the plate. But despite being unable to cheat this time, he looked relaxed next to a full-timers girl. Something that not many SMDers can do. Stephen. As usual, the postman finished on time, and Iona looked questionably at her shorthand. Jack was still finishing himself off, as Charlotte had had enough. They then had the usual 15 minutes before any drinks could be consumed. Carl Robinson reporting from the quarterfinals of the Shorthand World Cup.
Wow, what a voice. Thank you so much, Carl.
Just shame of the face though, really, isn't it?
That's uncalled for. Really uncalled for, actually. Right, so first things first, we're going to talk about Iona versus George, but actually, well, it was the biggest tie of the round. It really was. It was played at 100 words per minute. The dangerous Iona had yet to make a mistake going into this, but she had played at 80, 90 and 100, while George had got here by beating Simeon, Gregor and Georgina up to this point. Unconfirmed reports is that George has actually won this one.
Yeah, well, rumours are rife in the SMD camp that there may be an all-male semi-final, so that would of course mean George is through, as he is a male. So we'll see how that one plays out. Rumours as well that Iona had a lot of gaps in her shorthand, so that could make a difference as well.
I actually caught up with George on Thursday night and he had this to say.
I think it went quite well. I think I got every word. A couple I'm not sure about, but she had a few gaps and she said it didn't go great for her, so a little bit confident, but you never know shorthand, so we'll see on Monday. The passage we had today was a good one, and I felt like I finished in that prime time, so yeah, it was good. I'd like to face someone from the full-timers to keep the potential of a all-SMD tie in the final alive. I think Jack's very good, and he could definitely take on anyone at the full-timers and make it to the final. I think I could do reasonably well as well, so I don't want to face Jack in the next round because I want to keep that all SMD final alive. I think we can do it.
So George says he wants an all SMD final, which is fair enough. That's something that I personally want to happen. If he doesn't play an SMD person in the next round, he'll have to play probably either Connor or Josh. And Connor has yet to make a mistake in this competition so far, and actually he's secretly my favourite for their side.
He's snuck up on us, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't one of the ones who talked about going into it, it was all about Josh and Iona from their side, and Connor's just come up from behind and he's doing quite well.
So moving on to the intercourse tie, Jack versus Charlotte. I actually caught up with Jack on Thursday as well, and he had this to say.
I
pretty confident going into the semi-finals. To be fair, I got a lot of words down. Made one error, I think. I want to face George. I want to put it to the test, my mettle to the test. And also, I think they will guarantee an SMD/Kennedy in the final.
So it appears that he hasn't been distracted, because once again, unconfirmed reports is that he's won this one as well.
So it's big news for us indeed.
Yeah.
Wins wrapping up. We're really the underdogs throughout this course so far with the news test as well. We won that. And now we're coming up strong in the plate and the cup, of course. So it's all looking good for Team SMD.
It's looking really good, actually. Jack, up to this point, has beaten Lostin in that first round. Easy, really.
Yeah, anyone can.
And then he's also beaten Jenny and Tom Curran. I mean, to be fair, other than Lostin, those are some pretty big...
Yeah, those are tough, but other than Lostin, of course.
Yeah, but those are some pretty big rounds. And also, Jack, in that interview, said that he doesn't want an all SMD final. He wants to play George in the next round.
Bold words.
Yeah.
Big, bold words from Jack there. I wouldn't want to face George, personally. I think that's asking to be knocked out of the competition. But that confidence there, it's good to see, and hopefully he doesn't face George from an SMD standpoint, but I think it would be an amazing tie if it were to happen.
Very quickly, Harry 50 Shades of Grey versus Josh. Didn't go so well for Harry this time. I asked him whether he wanted to do an interview again, and he said no because he didn't have much to say, which was just shocking after his last interview. I think he's a guy with a lot of things to say.
He's normally a bit of a chat box.
Yeah.
Normally the trick is shutting him up. So.
Yeah, really coherent as well. Moving on to the plate, and the biggest tie in the plate was Lostin versus Teddy. I actually caught up with Lostin on Thursday as well, and he had this to say.
I didn't when I finished, but Teddy has convinced me since that I have won. But he's been mind-fucking me all week, so I've literally got no idea what to think. If I had pushed, I'd say yeah, but I don't know.
The Bulge has actually called you out and said he wants to face you in the next round.
He wants a glamour tie. He wants half the purse. Not getting that. I'd take the Bulge.
Yeah?
I'd take the Bulge by the nuts. You should have done this interview and I've had a few more beers, but no, I didn't have one through yet. If I lost today, I would be actually happy because I would love Teddy to win.
For me, and from what I got from Jack, is that Jack's probably won this one.
I don't know.
And I keep calling him Jack. I don't know why he's called Lostin. Huge MFI from me there.
Yeah, I just don't see Lostin win. He just doesn't win.
I mean, let's talk about Teddy for a second, because I mean, he lost to Gregor in the first round. That was quite a big shock. And then he beat Tom R from the full timers, and then myself. Shut up. And I mean, but he made a lot of mistakes along the way. He really did. So maybe his luck's run out here.
Well, you don't know with Teddy. He's not a confidence player. He said when he started he didn't want to be in the tournament, and he somehow probably made his way all the way to the semi-finals. Was it mind games? That's the question.
Let's face it, Lostin has been trying to make up for the fact that he lost to Jack in the first round. Let's face it, he just wants to be Jack. He really does. I mean, along the way, he's beaten Andy and yourself, so two pretty easy ties there.
I don't know about that. Personally, the Andy tie, I think, you need to back Lostin for that. Being me, I have asked for a drugs test. So we want to see the results of that, and then maybe it'll be rightfully put back in the plate.
And then, I mean, but in the next round, he could have his work cut out for him, because he might well play the Bulge. And as we move on to the Bulge, he may have beaten Jay from the full timers. And I caught up with the Bulge for his first interview on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident I won. My opponent told me after the match finished that she made about 35 errors.
It was Jay, wasn't it?
Jay, yeah. And I reckon I made around 15, so I'm fairly happy. There was quite a few words to get in there, which I sort of snuck in when I was just checking through, which made me quite confident. I heard she was out till 4:30 in the morning and staying at her friend's apartment. And I got a fairly good night's sleep. So I think that did have a good impact.
Do you reckon you can win?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had 4 matches, 3 in the play, and every match I've played has been against a full-timer. So I haven't played anyone, I haven't knocked anyone alphabetically. My last round before this, I got through with about 64 errors, which is a disgraceful form already. But yeah, I mean, we're hopeful that we'll have at least 2 me and Jack in the play semi-finals. I'd quite like to play Jack. I'm saying this now, I'd quite like to take him on. Just because I played 4 full-timers, it'd be nice to have a go at an SMD player.
He's quickly becoming an SMD favourite, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah, again, similar to Harry, he's only played 4 times, I believe, knocking them out along the way, so that's always going to win you curry favour with Team SMD.
I mean, he really does have the full package. How far do you reckon he can get in the competition? Do you think he can win it? I did ask him.
Well, I think the balls can go as far as the balls wants to go.
Very quickly, we also had Aaron versus Lauren. I personally don't know how he got on. Unconfirmed reports again, which are rife at the moment, is that he might have lost this one, unfortunately.
He's been riding on a crest of a wave of luck to get through to this, but if that keeps happening, who knows how far Aaron can go.
But let's finish up with, you know, the situation that could well appear on Monday in the televised semi-final. If we have Jack through, we have Matt through, and then Charlie, who could potentially play his tie on Monday as well. We're looking in really good shape in the play.
I think we are. I think from the round of 16, we had more people. We had 11 people in the play. So the plate was really ours. That was the situation going into it. We thought plate would be an SMD affair, the cup would be an FT affair. FT, to be frank, have bottled it, and we've taken over on both. So, and the news test, of course. So I don't really even know what FT are doing with their lives.
I mean, let's just think about Dreamland for us at the moment. We could have an all-male cup and plate final.
It's going to be amazing.
And that is a huge middle finger to history. Dan, we're going to have to end it there.
No, it's a shame.
I'd love to talk about it more with you, but time constraints. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's been fantastic. I want to say thanks to all the staff you've got here and the Shorthand World Cup roundup team. They've been great. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks very much, team. And please join us next time for more from the Shorthand World Cup.